Welcome everybody to 48 Talk episode number 85. I am your host, JyaaBaaJya, as always. Joining me this time is DXTakamina on the right and Derek on the bottom left. No Canadian guy, since he is very busy out to war in his WOTA gear. So sadly he will not be joining us this week.
Yeah, unfortunately, Aki can't make it either. He had some engagements. He's trying to figure out where the leak is in the stew boat, and take care of Taipei. And so he's a little busy. We'll forgive him for that because hopefully he'll be getting some work done in much needed areas of the AKB world.
Well, they just announced like a tour again for like the month of March till April till May or something. STU performances,
STU performance,
good.
Yeah, they're busy. They're really working it out a lot. I think that's their stick. They are doing lots of mini concerts all around. So the idea is still there.
I'm okay with that.
It just they don't want traveling by boats, but by Shinkansen.
Yeah, there's Shinkansen 48.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
All right. So I think the biggest topic we have to talk about.
There's a couple, but yeah.
Let's start with AKB48's 51st single has been announced on All Night Nippon, titled JyaaBaaJya. And they were talking about it. What does it mean? Oh, it doesn't mean anything. It's slang.
Random.
JyaaBaaJya. And I was like, okay, so I have to first wait an hour and a half of waiting till they play the song. And meanwhile, I have Shizuka doing like all these different type of characters in a like ASMR mic, waiting for this song to happen. And I'm just play the song. Finally, the song got played, and it's just so damn slow. It goes just ta 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 ta, and they go like JyaaBaaJya all night long. Yeah, in the groove. It's like
it was too slow. It was such a disappointment. The song is, in one word, a disappointment in my opinion. I expected so much more for Nachan's first center single for AKB48.
You can put this song in the lines of Tsubasa wa Iranai.
Yeah.
Maybe some of those songs, Shoot Sign style. It's
a great coupling song, but don't use it as a main song.
It's
my opinion about it.
Yeah. No, I think you hit it right on the mark. Like it definitely has the makings of a coupling song. I mean, it's something that's passable. You may or may not listen to on a CD, and I'm sure our viewers and commentators will probably have maybe different opinions because some of our commentators actually liked the other single, the one that I will never talk about, that has the weird, polka feel to it.
Yeah.
But this kind of has a little bit of that, but it's a little bit more modern, I guess, in its approach. However, I will say this in defense of it, there was a few moments in the chorus that were good. I did like a little bit of where they were going with the chorus. The problem is the chorus and the song itself needed sped up by about 60 RPMs.
Yeah.
Like it just if it would have been fast, like if it would have had like an EDM beat to it, the song would have been amazing. It would have totally ruled. But it literally was like they made it that fast, and then somebody in the producer studio was like, let's slow this down by like, let's make it like convalescent home style, like, for 80-year-olds. Oh, this works. This is great. Because I don't know if they're trying to appeal to the 50-year-old demographic they have. I don't know. But it really was like, what were they thinking? Seriously.
You know what this sounds so much like? It's like, I think one of the producers, he played Persona 5 too much.
Oh.
And he's like, I like the jazz that's going in Persona 5. Can we make it, in some form in AKB? We haven't tried that, right? That little style. It's like there's a reason for that. It's like the thing is, if there were no lyrics or like no vocals, that would be a good background song. But
exactly.
It's like elevator music. Yeah, I totally agree. Wait, but here's a question I have for you, Robin and DX. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you ever stop and think, let's say you're named as the center for an AKB song. You are pumped. You're like, yes. And then they're like, oh, here we have the song. Let's listen to it, Nachan. And Nachan's listening. Do you ever wonder if her or any of the others have ever did this? That sucks. I'm not doing this. Do you ever wonder that?
Man.
I think I know a few members who would do that.
Yeah.
That's why they're not center right now.
Yeah.
One of the names I could say is Sashara. She would definitely say like, "Oh hell no."
I could see
Hell no.
But she has the clout to say that. She has the ability to say that.
She has
Like-
the status pretty much.
And Nachan, she is of course her character Majime. You know, her worth ethic is really high, and she's like, "All right, well we can work with this. She will find a way to work with it instead of that."
Right.
But we only listen to the song itself. We haven't seen the MV. We haven't seen any performance.
Right.
It can still be redeemed of not being already the worst song of 2018. And
Well,
it pains me.
Don't forget that we still have the Sasekyo single as well.
And the Jonkin singles.
Those, those usually suck as well.
It really pains me because the center is
Nachan.
Okananana. We have Murayama Yuri finally in the Senbatsu. We have Macharin finally in the Senbatsu. It's a powerful Senbatsu as well. And you bring this.
Yeah.
We have Keikizaka. That's also not one of their best versions yet.
Nope.
But still,
It's better. It's better than this in the case.
it's like they just pound this song into the ground with their version. It's like I've listened to Garasu. I think now 25 times already, like 30 plus, every day a few times. This song, right before I start to record, I needed to remind myself again. I think this was the 4th time I listened to it, and then you can say, well, you haven't listened to it enough. No. First impression is always important. And then you try to listen to it differently. Maybe you hear something, and then you can judge. If I'm having trouble after 4 times with this song, that means to me, for my personal reasons, it's not a good song.
Nope.
And then
that's good.
And then if I'm listening too much, I'll try to force myself into liking it. It will get stuck in your head, of course, but it's bad,
not the way.
and I hate to say it.
No, I'm with you right there. Like I remember when I heard Silent Majority by Kea, right? Like the very first time I heard it, I dismissed it. I didn't care for it. I didn't even listen to the whole song. I didn't like it. But then that was right after Futari Saison came on. And like Futari Saison's really why Kea appealed to me. Because when I heard that song, I'm like, oh my God, like this group gets it. Like there's just something about that song that just really keyed into who I am and just everything I love about idol music. Then I went back and listened to Silent Majority. And I'd say by the 4th, 5th time I've heard that, it clicked. It was like, yes, this song owns my life. But then this song, I don't need to listen to it more than twice to know it's really a toilet song.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs you just flush and hope it never surfaces again. But then again, in keeping with tradition, historically speaking, there have been a nice string of singles by AKB that have been really not that great. From like the Sasenkyo singles tend to be pretty crappy, and then usually the one leading up to it tends to be pretty crappy. But then somewhere in the middle, they do tend to come out with one that does work. Now, unfortunately, last year,
There was
it was just nothing. It was everything.
There was
Well, hold on. I would say that the coupling songs that were put out were way better than anything that was put out for the main singles. The coupling song, it was the year of the coupling songs, with the exception of NGT. NGT put out probably the song of easily the best song in the past 5-6 years that AKB's put out. Easily, since I'd say even since Koitsuru Fortune Cookie. Like that song is really incredible. But the coupling songs are what now I'm looking forward to. So with the single, I'm very curious to hear what's gonna be packaged along with it, and of course the MV. And if a song's bad but the MV is pretty awesome, like I can forgive it, because then I'll look at it more as like a combined art media. You know what I'm saying? Like I can actually forgive it. Like it's like I probably won't ever listen to it on iTunes or my radio or my iPhone.
Wait. Time. I think
please, go ahead.
you're lagging a little bit, so I'm trying to.
Oh, sorry.
No. It it's not your fault. But I think try now.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Testing.
Yeah.
Am I still
okay.
lagging?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway, so I was just gonna say, I will forgive it for maybe not being the best song if the MV is good. You know, but you guys are the same though, right? So
Yeah, I just hope the song from Machirin is good because up till
Yeah.
now it's a disappointment. I would say I really don't like it.
well, also too, I think everybody's rooting for Machirin.
Yeah.
Like there is a collective shout from the WOTA community to let this Taiwanese girl come into AKB and be popular because it'll be the first time ever in the history of the Sambatsu, if she gets into Sambatsu, that a foreigner has gotten into the Sambatsu, and that's a huge breakthrough for not just for AKB, but I'd say for Japan overall. Just letting a foreigner be at that kind of a major prominent position. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Who isn't a hafu? You know what I mean? Who's like straight up foreigner? Like that's awesome.
Mhm.
So
Is it bad that I'm thinking Nagai Kotono is better than JyaaBaaJya?
nah, don't go that far, Robin. That
Yes.
song is not just. It's like below the sewer. It's so bad. Like no, don't go that far. Come on. That song's horrible. Like that song is beyond horrible. But this song, at least the chorus could be good. I want to take this song and I actually want to put it in like a processor and speed it up.
Yeah,
Because I honestly
I might test it out actually.
do that.
I
DX, do
think
that. I'm telling you, if you do that, if you speed it up, it'll be so bad. ASS. Seriously.
I'm gonna try it out later today, so I'm gonna try
You
it
totally
out.
should.
I've got the skills, I think. So.
Don't you think it would be, Rob? Listen to it like in your head. Like, da 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 da. Like it would have more of a gallop feel, and that actually would be cool.
I might have to try it out. Yeah.
Maybe.
So by the way, people that watch, like, we're not overly negative all the time. It sounds like we are, but we're not. But it's just honestly, like, we are very honest about our opinions.
Yeah.
So please don't think like we're just bashing AKB. Like, we listen to this stuff a lot, and like this is bad. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
It's
people.
such
What are
a
they
disappointment up till now. So.
We
Yeah.
criticize because we care.
right? Exactly.
It's really just, and it hurt. It really hurt me.
Yes. Yeah.
I was having dinner, and my mom was sitting across from for dinner, and she was also listening to this, and she's like, "Well, this doesn't sound good." It's like,
if your mom is saying that, I mean,
like-
come on.
Ouch.
I'm like, yeah, well, maybe the chorus, and I'm still waiting for the chorus. Like, and it's like, oh, this is the chorus.
Oh.
Oh well, at least not just singing voice is great,
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
Liz.
wonderful.
Yep.
She's shown in it,
but I do wonder. They really can save it with the MV if I'm in my head. It's like all slow motion shots and members being paired up and looking, very cutesy in the camera, or like a
that'd be
little
cool.
Yeah.
etsy style in the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I totally agree.
but it doesn't suit Nachan's style though.
Nah,
Not at
I
all.
was expecting more of a rocker type song. I would say.
Actually, I was expecting something quirky, something that like played off of. This is Natsun's first center, right? Like
Yeah.
something that plays
Well,
off her history.
Official single center.
Official single center,
official.
where like you played off her Majime character, and then you show her like her maybe her history going into Stu. Like they could have made it pro Nachan center and like use her life as like the backdrop, and they still might. I mean, we haven't seen the MV, but I just thought it'd be cool if they did that and then had like a real like crazy quirky song attached to it, because it would kind of fit her. Like go serious but make it quirky, so you have that weird juxtaposition of like quirkiness versus seriousness. Like that would be the creative end to it. But nah, let's just write off our checklist of all the things we need in a song to make all the mainstream voters happy, and there we have our million-selling single. Yes, they weren't even thinking.
The thing is, I cannot even imagine what the dance will be on stage.
Indeed.
There won't be.
Ugh.
They'll be sitting down, like.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine it, but something like that. Yeah.
Like if you want to do a slow song, there's a lot of better ways to do it, like where it's a little more emotional. When I think of like Yanakoto Sotomuto, my favorite song by them is called Am I, and it's kind of a slower song, but then there's like a part in the middle where they break into this like crazy drenched delayed guitar part, and it's still slow, but they do this beautiful dance where they're all in the center and they're going up and down with their bodies and they look like a pulsating flower, and it like makes me cry every single time I watch them like do it live. Like every time I've cried, but that's how you do a slow song in an idol world, not this.
I think Nogi has it pretty much down on getting up to that speed.
Yeah, I mean, just watch Nogi if you need some help there, ladies. I mean, seriously, Nogi, you're right. They have it down to a T. So, I don't know.
Yeah, even Influencer was pretty fast for their counts. But
that's true. That's true.
Influencer is not that fast compared to other songs.
Not really.
I think the thing to think about is, you know, we still have the rest of the year. You know, we could be pleasantly surprised, and I'm wishing here, but the Susenkyo could be like ridiculous. I mean, if Dorina wins the Susenkyo, I can't see her saying, "Yeah, I'm good with this." Like she would be like, "No, let's make this like dance pounding." Like it'll be a great single, I think. Versus somebody else gets it. Like this to me would be more like a, I don't say like a Mayu single, but I could see more like maybe there are some members this would fit well, but definitely Nachan isn't who I would think for this, not by a long shot.
Not at all, no.
Sad.
寂しいかわいそう。かわいそう。みんなかわいそう。みんなかわいそう。
All right. Well then, I think those are our thoughts for now for JyaaBaaJya.
Yeah, I just hope the coupling songs are better. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on then. Something actual fun that it was this week. WIP Queendom.
Oh yeah.
So I still have to watch it in detail, the full matches, because I skipped something if the pacing was too slow, and they improved a lot.
Oh, definitely.
And I would say the way they set it up, it's definitely continuing because they added another title, the WIP Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And the finals still have to be played, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
expecting it with WIP Climax around August, just after NJPW G1 Climax.
Yeah,
I think.
They got a bigger venue, and Derek, yes?
Are we gonna talk about the results? Because if so, we should maybe say spoiler here, like we're gonna...
I'm not sure about it, actually. I think it's too early to give a full review, or maybe I'm just going to talk about it. Normally I would give a review, but yeah, we can just talk about a few moments here and there.
So, so potential spoiler if you don't...
Potential spoiler.
Yes, we're going to talk about WIP for now, and I would say give it 15 minutes or something, and then try if you're going to skip that. Or we'll timestamp it if we talk about
We'll timestamp, yeah.
So we're talking about WIP right now.
Yes.
And so they had a bigger venue, a lot bigger venue than last time.
Yep.
More style to New Japan, and it looked amazing. The crowd was also amazing. You know, they had so many streamers to the colors of the wrestlers who came out.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there was a whole tutorial with which color is with which wrestler. So
yeah, they did it very well. So what are your highlights? To be honest, I would say DX. Could you give me some highlights of the event itself?
The event itself, it was some of the highlights would be seeing Aja Kong in action again. It's been a while since we last year with AKB, in the form of Gregory and Anna. The match, the Intercontinental Championship matches, both of them were really good in my opinion. I really liked the main event as well, and have to say I really liked I unexpectedly liked the match Sax Furata, Story Mukaichi, Max Nakai, and Takita versus the Mad Dogs.
Yeah, the 4 versus 4 match.
Yeah, that one was unexpectedly fun to watch actually. So,
Derek?
Well, just a quick question. So there's no drama attached to this, right? It was just wrestling. Like there wasn't any.
So yeah, the last episode was the last episode was the G1 or climax.
Yeah.
That they did.
And when was that?
August.
It's August, right?
Yeah.
So they're just skipping that stuff now. Like it's basically just wrestling at this point.
Yeah, so they are
Yeah.
really following the New Japan format. Only they are, of course, not doing every weekend a show. But in between time, they'll come up with storylines and face turns, heel turns, anyway to that
Yeah.
side.
Because Sakura-tan wasn't part of this, yeah. So
Yeah, she wasn't.
that was interesting.
The story is that she suddenly left.
Yeah, she was in Mexico along with Emerald Haruka or something like that. That's the rumors I read.
Yeah, so she was not participating. So they needed someone to step up, and then Strawberry Mion stepped up and became a face. She was a heel last time, and now she's a face again.
Yep.
So like I mean I know I'm not really partial to wrestling to begin with anymore. Like I told you guys before, when I was a kid, I was really into WWF and all that and whatever. But I will say it was fun. It was pleasant. It was interesting. There was some funny moments. Nakai Rika, I think, stole the show for me.
Yeah.
She was adorable and just really funny. And the first couple matches were really bad as far as like the acting goes. Like there was some clear shots where like they were missing hits by a mile, and you could totally tell. I think as it went on, the matches got more tighter as far as like convincing and stuff. That real big lady that's on AKBingo, the actual wrestling lady,
Asa Kong.
She was incredible. I actually really enjoyed watching her because especially they try to like take her down, they could, and get props to Kaotan for like taking it to her. Like Kaotan took it to her.
That was suplex.
That was good. That's what I'm saying. Like that was, and then some of those girls getting suplex was great. I'll say the biggest highlight for me was I think Komiharu. She looked absolutely incredible, like all of the stuff she did. Some of those moves she was doing, like that one move where she jumped on the girl's neck and like twisted and did, that's incredible. Jarina looked like she was just, of course, she's Jarina. She'd do anything perfect. So it was like too easy for her. Dasu was a perfect. Miru, I'll just say.
Dasu is main event right now, yeah.
Miru was very fun to watch. I'll just leave it at that. But I think for me the biggest highlight was Taniguchi Megu. She was scary. Like her face, like when she looked insane. She looked literally like something out of a J horror film. Like I almost want her to come be in one of my movies if I'm ever gonna get them made, because that face, like when she transforms, like she has that whole Majime look, but then when she starts laughing and she does the whole like Gekihara like goes nuts, I like really believe it. Like I don't know if she's acting anymore. And for a second I'm like, wait a minute, she's out of her mind. So I loved her. She was the best.
There was a movie of her on Twitter where she actually performed a swanton bomb, and there was so much worry about it. They actually deleted that movie from Twitter, I think.
No, there was a moment when in her entrance she came to ring in, and the camera guy was just panning, following her, and she looked in the camera like this really tight like glare, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And at the end she just gave a little smirk, and I'm like,
right.
Oh boy.
Like
don't watch.
I hope. I mean, AKB has a history of putting out like little mini dramas, and they tend to be horror. Like crow's blood and everything. I really think Taniguchi needs to be the center of a mini series like that. Like that girl is scary, like really scary. And when she did like the ballerina move where she was down on the ground and her legs were like split and like the girl was on her pressing her down. It just looked like so, and maybe like Kimochiwari, like just I was uncomfortable, and it was good. Like it was like I really feel this girl. Like she was so good in it.
But if you know the rest how Taniguchi Megu is, she's always so nice. It's like this. She's so adorable. Always making either it's like very cold stare, or it's just this goofy face, or when she goes when she goes cross-eyed, like was like
like the gap there is so incredible. But she's a good performer. Like she's right where I think she should be in life with AKB, because AKB, she's a huge asset, which unfortunately they've scaled back a lot on her as far as like AKBingo and things go. She never does anything on there, it seems, anymore. But it's like I still feel her presence. You know what I mean? So she was a pleasant surprise. I mean, obviously the other ones were all great, and Cowtown, of course, was the one. I mean, everybody did their job. Although I will say this, I thought Shimada Haruka was in it, but you guys were telling me that wasn't her.
No.
Who was that? That was
NGT48's Yamada Noe.
I mean, that's incredible.
She dropped her like the screaming voice actor, thank God, and became a little more serious and took the role of Shimada of that tag team with Kaotan. And
blew me away.
It just, the reveal was amazing, but she, you know, you were like, who is that? Who is that? Is that Yamada? And then she just removed the hood, and it was like, oh wait, no, this is not a jokey character. She's actually going to fight. The thing is, though, she was so emotional, and that's Yamada Noe right now. She gets emotional way too fast. She goes from 0% to 100% too fast.
Yeah.
So it's even on AKBingo this week. It's like when she talks, you see people just like, or like, Katamina was like, this just hurts, and then even Marina was also like, ow, my ears, just stuff like that. So. But she did fine. She did really good match. I would say my highlights, the one match that really got me was Oda Erina versus what was her name? It was the first round of the Intercontinental Championship.
Yumbo Sato.
Yeah, just the moment the bell rang, she came up full speed. Got up, twisted up. Bam, into an armbar. And I'm like, oh, that's actually a good move. Then she got thrown over the rope and did the armbar again. And that's the thing. So I'm also a wrestling fan. She just kept on focusing on the arm. And it was like, yes, focus on a body part. Make it hurt. Make it feel like hurt. And, hey, it takes two to tango. But still, Oda Erina really stole the show for me. I really hope she gets the Intercontinental title because of this. And she looks like she's having fun. She's really having fun in the ring. It's just her style, and it's like it's still over the top, but it's Japanese style, so you get that. But it's I've seen like professional women wrestling that's worse than what they performed right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the WWE Diva era. Ugh. That's
really?
Well, if we want to go even further, TNA Knockouts.
Oh yeah.
I give these girls a pass. If anything, like I said, like a couple of those matches at the beginning were like really like they were missing by a mile. But I give them a pass because they're also AKB members that have to dance, and as we've seen in AKBingo and behind the scenes recently, these girls have packed schedules. Like, look at Mion. Mion has to do all this stuff, and she has to learn how to wrestle. She has to do all these things, and it's really incredible that these girls have all these other jobs, and on top of that, they wrestle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like, that gives them a pass for me. Like, if that was only their sole job, that'd be different. But it's, like, cool, you know?
Well,
like, I'm actually coming around on this, you know?
Well, to be honest, during the 4 vs 4 match, it's a nice placement because it's a comedy match. And there was not a lot of wrestling, just the really basic stuff when, like, okay, do a wrist lock and then go from there, and then, you know, just do a roll and a little comedy effect, you know, with the door thing, and it's like, how did you get past the door? It's like, oh, but I'm miming it. It should be impeccable. And then Fukuoka Sena tried it, and then they go in, you know, Mad Dog style. And the finish of the match, it was like Rika doing it again, like not really wrestling, but she's like, I got the chair, so I was like, see, I'm just holding a chair, nothing else. And then Mad Dog tried to hold it, and the ref saw it. He's like, oh, ring the bell, she's using a chair. It's like, it's a comedy match, so that's fine. No, but the ones who were in the Intercontinental Championship, those 4 really are the best wrestlers on WIP. And excluding the main event, because Doitsu is like very strong in there because of her movements. She really knows how to do their style, and her Shining Wizard, or Kinshase, what do you want to call it? She got that down, and she really knows how to combine that.
I agree.
And Jurina is watching wrestling a lot, and a fan, of course. She's been to Wrestle Kingdom, and she just knows how to present herself at a crowd. But hey, she lost again. This is twice in a row actually on the WIP events. So I'm expecting the next one. She still has her title, but now Shiroma Meru wants the title.
Oh.
So I don't think it's gonna be Dasu who's gonna face it.
Yeah, I mean, those four, you know, Dasu, Jirina, Miru, Komiharu, like they're on another level. I think they've, again, you're talking about four of the best wonder kids in AKB48 to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, Jirina and Dasu are powerhouses. And Miru, the more and more I see this girl, the more and more she impresses the hell out of me, because I was not a big fan of hers, but now I'm really starting to understand, like, this girl's committed, like, so much, and she is the face of NMB. She really is. And yeah, and there's that too. I won't get into that. But I will say, you know, she's a really easy on the eyes. But Komiharu, to me, out of those four, though, Komiharu, I think, was the one that really impressed me the most, because I didn't expect that much from her. And I mean, she was flying through those rings. I mean, she was doing some moves. I was like, get out of here. Like, you are like this tiny girl. Like, she's so small. And she was roughing up Miru and Dasu pretty good. I was impressed.
Was also the main event, though. The main event was like a lot of signature moves. Like a spot fest. But it's appealing, it works, and it's very fun to see. The weird thing for me though is Komiyama is really like two-faced, as they say they are, because you have normal Komiyama. It's like today I on Instagram where she was with, I think, another member, I don't remember which, and she's like, you know, dressed in pink, and it's like all nice and sunshine and smiling, and then you see her in the ring, and it's like she really goes all out, and it really looks amazing on that side. So I'm really hoping for her to become stable in that.
Yeah. But I will say this. Think about it. They're idols. Idols. The whole point of an idol is to be somebody like to present this fantasy. So every single day she has practice being somebody she may or may not be in real life. So that's like, they could slip into those roles easily. But I will say this: the real question is, which one is Komiharu for real? Like, is it the cute moe, or is it like the, oh my god, I'm gonna run from this girl if I saw her in a dark alley, you know? Like,
why not both?
She could be both, sure. I mean, I think that's real life. Everybody has a bit of both in them, I think. But I don't know.
So something like, become my fan, or I'll feature you, or something like that.
See, you're coming like home from work. It's like been a long day, and she's like, "You're late," and feet triggered like in your head.
And then after she hits you, how was your day? Yeah, here, have some of this great food I made, or whatever. No, she's
anytime.
Great. She's great. Anytime is right.
There is something else that happened. So long speech is Yokoyama is just also very good because she has like a lot of wrestling experience and ready for that.
Yep.
The funny thing that came out of this for the storyline is she is now taken over the main stable of the group.
Yeah.
So they're not anymore the old school from the TV drama.
Yeah,
where, you know, it now changed over to like a Yokoyama stable, and they even have like this pose where like Yokoyama is pointing, and it's like, oh, that's funny. She probably watched WWE where everybody points at this damn WrestleMania sign every year. But the one that slayed me was Asa Kong was also doing the pose.
Kong,
just also full smiles and just enjoying it like.
Awesome. Well,
I think Aja Kong is having fun with him.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, like DX, like didn't you get the impression that Kong was really happy to be part of this?
Yeah.
Well,
because I'm happy she was.
She wasn't playing Aja Kong, right? She was playing Gregorio
Anna.
Yeah, Gregorio Anna. So it was like, in mistake, she dressed like an American flag. Like, like sorry, he's like okay. But it was really fun to see her in action, and then
she really looked like she was. She was really.
Yeah, she was having fun. But the other thing that's really cool about it, and this is what I love, is that looks aren't everything. You know what I mean? Like think about like she's not exactly compared to the AKB members what you would call, I guess, attractive, I guess. And by modern world standards, I'm sure there's somebody out there that thinks she's gorgeous. I think she's wonderful. But I'm saying like when I saw her in comparison, all the looks, all that went out the window. Then it became about talent, about personality. And she's a good reminder to these girls that that's what you have to focus on to sell a product, to sell an idea. So in this case, you have to sell this idea that these girls are like hardcore wrestlers. And then you actually have a woman in there who wrestles. I mean, whether fake or not, she's still, that's her life. I mean, that's what she does. And it made those girls step their game up. And for a moment, I forgot that they were idols. I forgot that they were these gorgeous girls that like I like make my jaw hit the floor. I saw them as wrestlers because this wrestler was in the ring with them. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah,
like it brought it out.
Yeah,
and
it was everyone. I was worried. Everyone was viewing this as an idol event instead of a wrestling event, but it was a wrestling event, and it was a hell of fun. It was a hell of fun to watch. So I really enjoyed it. Really.
That and also too, like this is a moment where I think like AKS, whoever was in charge, moment of brilliance there to put her in that, calling in this. But then it's like, why can't you apply that brilliance to like singles?
Singles, yeah.
Or just the general idea of AKB and
the thing is, the person who is in charge is also a trainer from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Milano I think he sets it all up.
There you go. See, smart.
Milano Collection, yeah. Milano Collection 18.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. No, they did a good job. I'm not a fan. They won me over, so I think I actually really want to keep watching. But I also, I was just very impressed overall that these girls could do something like that, on this kind of a stage. It was very impressive. So overall, I'd say if you're a fan of AKB, watch it. Like
it's only getting bigger. Yeah, it's only getting bigger from now on.
It's gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
I actually could see them having maybe like one match in like a professional male Japan wrestling tournament.
NJPW might be.
Yeah, like I could see them doing like a bonus match in that or something, which would be fun if they could cross over, because isn't that kind of what they're trying to do with this anyways?
They're trying to do that anyway. In any case,
the thing is, I don't think they're gonna do maybe in the future, but so far Matsuya Jurina has been to several New Japan Pro Wrestling events.
Yep.
And she, was the ambassador for Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom.
The New Japan wrestlers have been on WIP.
Yep.
Backstage and being in training, and then they've been having photo shoots together. Blue Justice was of course in the last WIP event. Again, the reason you didn't see any male wrestlers this time, like New Japan wrestlers, is because they had their own events like at the same time with WIP, so it was a scheduling issue probably. Otherwise, I couldn't 100% guarantee some of them would probably go there.
I definitely expect to see Golden Lovers at a WIP event, because it pretty much is in their street. Atmosphere-wise, I would say so.
They just returned. They just returned. So it's this is all New Japan talk right now. Other than that, I just have to watch it again to fully see the matches, and maybe I'm gonna criticize it more. But again, this event was successful. If I compare to the first one was because expectations were low.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly well, and best set. This one you can see them improve, but it didn't blew out of the water compared to the first time. So we actually said that like WIP event was the best event of 2017. If I have to compare it with this one, it was fine, but it didn't feel like the first one is always the best, right? That's the idea.
That's the problem. I have a certain expectation.
Now you got the niche behind it, and you're thinking, okay, the event is the same. Now we need to focus on quality of the matches, and that can still improve. But the ones that are great, just let them continue. And
yep.
I didn't know their roster was this big already, but I can feel you can switch some people. I'm still looking for some members that should be in this arena as well.
There's quite a few you could.
Yeah.
You know,
you have an
quite a
idea?
few.
Yeah, Matsuka for one.
Yeah, but I think I think she's going to have big time scheduling issues.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to actually.
Yeah.
I want a surprise return of Kuramochi Asuka because she is a wrestling
Oh,
fan
yeah,
as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please bring Mochi back. I miss
yes.
Mochi so much. Mochi would be awesome at this. Oh my god, she would rule. Yes.
Wasn't she
that's a good
doing
one.
something with sports or wrestling anyway nowadays?
She has a wrestling program, but not with New Japan, with
Oh,
All Japan. That's the other one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Different promotions. Not gonna work then. Not gonna work.
No. Or you know what? I just want one time Minori Suzuku would show up and just.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They
So
they still need to be alive from it. They still need to be alive. They still
yeah. Derek Minori Suzuku is like this giant prick of a wrestling guy, but he's very famous and it's just a fun guy to watch. But if he would be with the WIP girls, he wouldn't hold back. He would just slapping idols just non-stop.
Oh god, no, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I kind of want them to do like a battle royale. Like it would be so much fun to watch them do like all of these girls in the ring at once and like just going at it with each other. Would be so. And you know, it'd be funny if Nakai Rika won it all. Like she just kind of crouched in the corner and then they all beat each other and she wins because her character's like so weird like that. I don't know. But
I don't know.
it'd be funny. I think it'd be cool. Anyways, yeah, and it was fun. Me personally though, like overall, I'm like, I kind of hope that AKB will go more the drama route, the horror route again, like do stuff in like the movie world. I thoroughly enjoy that much more. But I will say this, it was a very pleasant surprise. I'm glad that I was able to watch it, and like I don't regret like the 4 hours it took to watch it. It's just I can see, like you guys said, the first is better perhaps, but there's definitely room to keep going with this, don't you think? I mean, there's a lot you can do.
It's pretty much stable right now. So
yeah, and I'm cool with that. I think I'm cool with that. You know, it gives more girls an opportunity to shine, I guess.
So how many times a year should they do it?
I think 2 times is fine.
Two.
Yeah,
Two would be
so
good.
during just right after Wrestle Kingdom and after G1 Climax, I would say.
Well, yeah, this is a good buffer between like the slow. Well, it hasn't been slow, but like the traditionally slow period between like January and Susenkyo. So like inserting this in between is a nice little buffer. And then I would say maybe the summer too, like after Susenkyo, before Junkin. You know, so it gives you like
around August,
yeah,
just after G1 Climax.
Because right after Junkin, you have the AKB type like Kohaku, you have the request hour, you have them like all like come in like at once. So it's nice to have this. This is like a nice little buffer, and it's fun, you know.
Yeah, and it doesn't take too many members to be honest.
Exactly.
It's cool.
So if I'm looking at this picture, how many members are there? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. 30 of them are, well, if I'm counting, I've seen this other female wrestler, but she is not from AKB, right? The one that's, the one that was with the Kautan and Yamana Noe.
Yamana Noe? That is Saito Makiko, actually.
Yeah, that's Makiko, wasn't it?
Really? Oh, whoops.
Yep.
I thought she was another female wrestler.
That's Saito Makiko.
That's Makiko. Tricked you.
That's the captain of SKE, dude.
Whoops.
Oops.
Well, then she really did her role well. So she is. What was her nickname? Slip something.
Anti-slip.
Anti-slip Makiko. Okay, she really impressed me then. Oh my god, I thought she was like a wrestler from another stable.
Nope, that's the captain of SKU, dude.
Robin.
You got me.
No, she was good. She was really good.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I thought she was like you had Aja Kong from the one side. And then her and Slip from the other side, just to have 2 female wrestlers face each other. Okay, I didn't know. All right, hey, learned something new. It's the
Yes,
face
he
paint,
did.
okay? It's the face paint.
It's the face paint. Well, hey,
Yeah.
Shimada Noe can got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Shimada Haruka, so it's like different as well.
No, Shimada Noe. She became Shimada Noe.
Yamada know it.
Alright then. Anything else for WIP before we move on then?
Our fans should watch
really
it.
loved the. Are we still in spoiler territory? Right. We're
Yeah,
still in
you just say it.
Yeah, I really loved the sudden heel turn of Oda Erina during the match with Jirina during the main event. She pretty much took out Jirina, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I'm getting that Intercontinental title, but she wants
Yeah.
the main title, right?
Yep.
That's what you. But the
Yep.
fun thing is, there's like now a huge line for Jurina. It's like,
Yep.
ooh, maybe they're doing a fatal 4-way.
Oh, could be actually. So we either have Dasu, we either have Jirina herself.
Jurina,
Miru.
Dasu, Miru, and Erina.
Oda Eri. Yeah,
And
that's already 4.
That's a fatal
Maybe,
4-way.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You can make it a fatal 5-way to give a
With
little
Komi.
bit with Komi in it, but it could be very interesting, like to have 3 heels, 3 bad guys, bad
Yeah,
girls,
3 bad.
facing against like the powerful Hollywood Jurina,
Yep.
and then she overcomes it.
Oh, could be actually.
But she lost now the first 2, and it's all tag teams. And she's like, oh, all these distractions around me, you know what? I'm gonna face all 3 of you at once.
Mm-hmm.
Be kind of cool, especially if Jirina whipped them all. It'd be like reminiscent of AKBingo when she like took out all the members of AKB.
All the 10,
like,
yeah,
all
10
by herself.
assassins, yeah.
Like
That-
I wonder if they would invoke that. You know, that'd be kind of fun.
Well, that's a very nice segue then to our next topic, I would say.
Spoiler alert off.
Oh, yeah. So, welcome back to people who have skipped the WIP talk. We're now going to talk about then this week's AKBingo. That was also
Yes.
very interesting. The second part of the Moe battle. And
Oh, yeah.
as Derek said, I would say Matsuyu Jurina just blew everyone out of the water, right?
Yeah.
Just
She's
pulling those
amazing.
strings. It's like, yes,
God,
I
man.
use my words to just hypnotize you and just... okay, so highlights from that show.
I would say at the end with the doggy thing, Imamura Maria. Yeah.
I'm gonna echo that because to me, I'm really glad that Maria won. That for HKT, I'm glad HKT definitely like got their win there. But more importantly, they totally defined how they were looking at Maria with that. Because remember, the first time I told you, it made me a little uncomfortable.
Mm.
The idea, the thought that she could be even in a Moe battle. But then we discussed that, and actually, a lot of our commentators, we had a lot of discussion back and forth about how we should look at Maria, you know, the Moe thing. And there's some really good points on both sides. But the end of this clearly defined it. She's the cute little emoto that has this really cute little saying, and it's mama dog, and it was just cute. So I don't know if that was intentional that happened, or the script was such that they wanted it to be very clear that we are not trying to make Maria into something like that. Like they were trying to give this discussion like in a subtle way to us, but I was just really happy that happened. Like it made me feel much like I breathed a sigh of relief. I was like, okay, like we're not trying to do anything weird or perverted. Like it's cool. Like she's just this cute little AKB member that we're gonna support because she's cute and our little emoto. Done deal. But that overall, Jirina was kind of what really stole it for me.
Yeah.
Like, she just went in there and just showed these girls what's up. She's like, girls, come on, let me show you how it's done.
Yeah.
And she did. Like,
Yeah.
You
crushed
wanna
it.
be like a good girlfriend when your boyfriend comes home? That's how to do it.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
Like it's amazing. Like although I will say Shibuya Nagisa like kind of they got a little frisky, I guess we'll say.
Yep.
She does that every time. It's like last year Moe Battle, she did the same move, you know, under the bed and going like, "Come on,
Come on.
Come on.
That's
Come on.
Come on.
But then again, NMB overall was trolling everybody. Like they even called
Yep.
her out for it.
That was-
They really
that
think
was-
Sani
that
was
was-
like
yeah.
like group huddle. Let's just be stupid. Let's just
Yeah.
be so super silly. Like because we're not gonna win. You know, HKT's got this. You know they're gonna win because
yeah."
they always win all these stupid things. So it's
Like I feel when Muramoto said like I feel like NMB is like a terrorist group just blowing up this Moe Battle, and it's like wow. But when
Sani,
this was my highlight. So you had to
Yes,
round
what
with
was yours?
Matsuya Jurina, with Yamato Saika, and who was it? Was it Yui from AKB then? Yeah,
Could be,
and you had Ogino from NGT, and Yumirin from STU, and then Vivian from HK.
Vivian, yeah.
Yes.
It's like, okay, one of these things doesn't belong here when the Muramoto was there. And it's like, what do you have to ace? Well, I have my hair, and then just you see Saine go like, just. I just lost it. She's like.
Sign it.
She couldn't contain her feelings like that. She was like.
She's so Osaka. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that is such a Kansai move because Osaka people don't care. They're like Americans. Like they really just say whatever. And like it's so funny that Saine was like because it's so classic her to do something with that kind of comedic time. It's like Yukaren. Like Yukaren showed us how to properly answer responses like in the best way imaginable. And then Saine showed us how to properly do a comedic timing thing. Like it was on a Takino Yumiko level. Like because like Takino and Stu Bingo with the whole thing she did on the first episode. That was comedic gold as far as variety timing goes. The intelligence you have to do that in a high pressure situation like that is unbelievable. Saine, easy. Like she pulls it out anytime. Like it's so amazing. This is why she is who she is.
When the swimmer just also said like, what's very funny, she's like, it's like that's what I do. I don't care about being cute and moe. It's the funny part.
You have to watch the show in two ways. Like if you don't know Japanese, your tendency is going to be to watch the subs as the show's going on. But watch it a second time, forget about the subs, and watch the background. And you'll see some of these girls trying so hard to like do silly things, but it's always Saine that has like the good timing with it. Like she's really good at like you'll notice sometimes like you'll see Chiori in the background. She'll be pointing. Like a lot of girls will point when something's like said, and like that's like a good way for the camera to know. Chiori does it all the time. That's like her signature move in the background. But Saine, like again, she like waits for that moment. She like she seriously she snipes, and it's so amazing to watch her snipe like that. It's incredible.
I also found it funny when Nakai Rika failed and she was like getting mad. It's like, you better press that button more times.
Yeah, she went from like cute to like serious. Like it was like,
she's like, like, I am cute. Press that button. It's like, whoa.
All right, Hima-chan, go back to your kingdom. No, but it was good. It was like it played into the characters. Moe Battle is obviously one of the best moments of all the AKBingos. Always, it's always fun to see. But again, the way they ended it, I thought was a very cool way of showcasing their awareness of what they were doing with the girls, And again, giving little Maria the win I thought it was fun. It was nice. It was cute, and I'm happy they did it, because it's Moe, but Moe in a very cute, innocent way, not like a sexually suggestive way like it could have been for some of the other members. And I'll just leave it at that.
Say anything at all?
No, she did. She's on permanent no talk right now. Like I honestly, I don't even know why she's there. Like I don't know. That's kind of depressing to even think about her. Like, what's going on there.
It was like, it was not good for camera time.
Why do you think I feel when I saw Tani, like the girl next to her is getting all this attention, and Tani's just sitting there, like, and I'm like, talk to Tani, like she's 10 times funnier. Come on, but it's like, but Haruhi, that's I don't know.
And what's so well, on the AKB side, there were also like a few members that I didn't hear. It's like, who was also there? It was Nozawa Rena.
I didn't even notice her. That's how much I didn't even know she was there.
She was actually there.
Did you see Jury's face a few times? Looked like she was either bored out of her mind or really upset until they actually asked her a question and she talked. But it was like you almost could tell like these girls are thinking, why aren't we getting something? Like,
I think it was right after the New Year palm reading that they did this Valentine's thing. So the way AKBingo works, they tape 5 episodes, I think. 5 or 6.
That makes sense.
At once, and they gradually span it over the time. So you still have to wait, and that's why you had the palm reading and stuff like that. And Yeah, I don't know. They didn't use them, and I was like, you could have used maybe one question, one moment out there, or maybe they were thinking they already get enough spotlight. Let's focus on the other members.
I'm okay with that, but it's still, I mean, it's just like you have 30, 40 girls in the studio. I know it's hard to get attention to all of them, but you should still do your best to get everyone in. Otherwise, what's the point of them being there, you know?
Yeah.
But then I was talking about this, actually. I met with one of our fans last night, Jay Spray, and we actually had a great conversation about, like, all things, mostly Kea because he's a big Kea fan, but we also talked about this, actually, and we were talking about how, like, you know, if, you know, like the old AKBingo days when they would do like Shojiki Shogi battles or Muchiburi dodgeball, you somehow were able to get all the members involved. You know, like even the Shojiki Shogi like battle, they were still making fun of Takamina or people in the crowd, and they just found a way to draw everybody in. And Muchiburi, of course, everybody got involved. I mean, it's just they've kind of lost that ability. And maybe because again they're just too big. I don't know, but because they got away from the game format mostly, like those kind of games. It's like now it's more like who can I have me pay attention to the most. It's almost like now you see girls crying just to get the camera on them. You know what I mean? Like it's like such a cutthroat competition for the camera that now it's almost defeating and the attitudes I think a lot of these girls must have when they're sitting there thinking,
it's not like the warm house show anymore that it used to be actually. During the Bad Boys era, it's more like it's become a AKBingo itself has become a competition for screen time, and that wasn't always the case. And
yeah. Oh well, what's next week exactly for AKBingo?
Good question.
Didn't see.
I didn't see, so it's like we'll see what happens. In the meantime, Takashi Judy is way too busy right now. She's being the snow princess, so
this is true.
Looking, true. Looking very good. She worked hard for it, so it's finally taking fruits. If you're in Japan, go watch that because why wouldn't you?
Sorry, 5 months too early. 5 months too early.
So, other news though.
Oh boy.
It was last week when we were recording. It happened like breaking news stuff, and we were, you know, waiting out to information. I don't know who said it, but we got a text from someone who said, okay, so what happened was Tano Yuka was seen by Bushi. What was it gonna?
Bunshin.
Who else? It's always Bunshin. Come on.
And there were pictures of her, you know, with a guy, and at first you're like, oh, that could be, and like then you see other pictures like, no, this is full on contact, don't care, I'm with someone photo. Okay, well then after a little while, it's like she's still performing, and I didn't hear anything from the crowds. I don't hear anything from someone else. I didn't hear any percussions. And then I read someone from Stage 48, I believe, that said, Tano Yuka isn't worth the scandal hype.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, at first I'm like, well, isn't that a little bit harsh? You know, maybe it will be happen. But now it's been a week, actually. Nothing.
Yes.
It's something there's like it's getting swept under the rug, and it's like, well, it's not important. So I could take this two ways. One, it's like she got caught. Fans don't care. That's why management doesn't care, because management has like issues already with Tano, and eventually it's like no one cares. So they're just letting this resolve.
What's the other way you're looking at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other way I'm looking at this, it's like there's still something coming, maybe, or it's like she's been off. She's gonna be off of everything. Maybe just, you know, stage performances because she's still needed for that. But no more other events again. Like they did last time with the Junken, that when her scandal thing came out again, she was like, okay, she didn't, you know, she had that whole program, but she just didn't even perform and just lost right away. I don't know. I think it depends. Maybe this is like a good thing coming. It's like, let's see how fans react before we have to take repercussions. And in this case, people are like, don't really care. How do you guys feel about this situation?
Well, I don't know if there are no. So, if there are no repercussion, I don't know how Mi-chan and Nishinomiki should feel because they got hit pretty hard with repercussions. So, something has to happen, though. I don't know what, but something has to happen.
Do you
But
think
that's,
something still has to happen, or do you think something is going to happen?
I think something is going to happen, but I don't know what though.
Okay, yeah. But personally, you're like, if nothing happens, you're also like, oh, that's fine.
Not really, because then when Mi-chan and Nishinomiki, how should they feel if nothing happens?
Yeah, I understand that, but don't you feel like there should be a change?
Might be, but I don't know.
You need to start somewhere with that change. And I know what happened in the past, but you can't live in the past too long. If we're
Well-
gonna expect that the Loveban situation is getting more handled in 2018 style, being balanced and not be like, hey, you can't do this without this or something like that. It needs to start somewhere, and maybe this is a start.
Might be, but I have my doubts though. But...
Okay, Derek.
Yeah, so we have to look at Tano-chan and what's happened to her, though. She's been picked over. She's been relegated to the back seat. She's not a girl that takes the back seat. Her attitude became much more rougher. She had to apologize for that. And then, she ranking Senpatsu wise is non-existent. She has had a string of dismal failures leading up to this, and then then she went over to Korea. She did the Korea commercial, got some hype there, but then she went in almost the same breath ragged on Korea.
Well, she ragged on Japanese people who like Korea.
Yeah.
Well, okay, same thing. So the thing is like she has a history of putting her mouth out there and saying stuff that gets her in trouble. That's not necessarily a bad thing. She's honest. She says what's on her heart. I can respect that. But I think, again, she has to remember she's an idol. So some girls can do the whole, I'll just do my own thing and I don't care, like Peru did. But some can't. And she falls in the latter category. And I think the reason why is because she has caused a bit of trouble with the group. And again, in Japan, group is everything. So when you lead up all of that, then you realize she has found comfort potentially in the arms of a man. Why not? Because here's a guy probably like, oh, I'm so sorry, you're having the worst time, and well, why don't you come hang out with me? Let's get a drink, and well, you know what happens after that. So it's like I can see her going this direction because it just fits right in with her streak of rebellion, which is why some may just shake her head and be like, yeah, duh, like we knew that was gonna happen. Like that's not really a big surprise. But on the other hand, it does leak into this bigger discussion. What's going on with the Loveban? Is it still being enforced? How are we enforcing it? Is our thing now to just go the Yukirin route and swipe it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen? But then, like DX said, what about Miki? What about Mi-chan, for crying out loud? What about Sashi? Like, why is it all of a sudden like not a big deal? Or if it is a big deal, why isn't it being dealt with immediately like it has been in the past? So these are questions still haven't really been figured out. My guess is it'll be resolved anyways because Tano-chan's going to beat them to the punch. She's going to graduate. Sorry, Haru. But I just think, I really feel like that's her next step in rebellion is to give AKB a giant cloud of middle fingers and basically just leave under that cloud. But I will say this. I still am a strong supporter of the Loveban. I think it's important. I think it's necessary, but only to a point. I don't think as you get older in AKB and you start getting your 20s, the Loveban is really going to be important as much as you as a woman needing to figure out who you are, figuring out your sexuality. If you're taking gravure pictures and you're getting them sold and men are enjoying them, but you can't enjoy those men that might enjoy seeing you like that and everything that comes along with that. I don't know if that's really fair to girls growing up and wanting to experience men for the first time. I think as a younger, like if you're in your teens and you're in AKB, me personally, I don't think you have any business being with a dude. I think you should focus on AKB. Otherwise, get out of AKB. It's like Jarina said. You know, I have time later to do all that. This is a gift. This is a moment that I've been given. I should own it. But when you get older, sure, you want to have a boyfriend, fine. I just don't want to know about it, and that's cool. But if you get caught, then that brings up the question. We need to set these defined boundaries, because right now, what are those boundaries? What are the boundaries of the Loveban? They need to come out with that.
I agree. Yes. Maybe the idea is indeed, it's like at age 20 you are allowed to start drinking, right? Stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Why not make that a rule in AKB? When you're 20, you're allowed to start dating.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
But don't show it. Don't show that you're dating. Keep private life out of work.
Right,
if you get caught, then there will be repercussions because you disobeyed the rules. So we can kick you out. Maybe that's another thing. But all right, no work for you these 3 months, because then you have time with your boyfriend. Stuff like that. You know, it doesn't be manipulative. It's just saying like, we don't disagree with your choices, but since you've made this choice, we have to take this action.
Yeah, and to add to that, like if you look at Japan as a whole, and you know, it's a very male-dominated society. No one's going to argue that. I certainly won't. I wouldn't say it necessarily borders on misogyny, but there are moments of that in Japan, unfortunately, still in this 2018 era. I hope Japan will fix that over time. But what I will say is this: when you look at the hostess clubs, and you're a guy and you go pay a very pretty girl to talk to you and basically kiss your butt and make you feel like you're on top of the world, and you pay them money. It's not for sex. It's not to make out with the girl. You can't even touch the girl in a hostess club without there being a repercussion. You get beat up by a bouncer. So the Japanese men tend to fully follow those rules, and they enjoy it, and there's a trade there. But those men don't want to know about that woman, her boyfriend at home, her 5 kids she might have. It's a non-issue. When it becomes an issue, then guess what? That woman can't be a hostess anymore. She can't cater and appeal to this man. Now, you can argue all you want whether hostess is a good or a bad thing. I'm not getting into the morality of it. Me personally, I think I understand it in the context of Japan. As a Westerner, doesn't make sense at all. That's why we don't have hostess clubs here. Yeah. But I would say, like,
they go a little further than that.
They go a little further than that, unfortunately. But we won't get into that.
We're from the Netherlands. We go a lot further than that. So
yep.
But
it's a tourist attraction, you know, for kids,
right? But in Japan, it's this titillation factor. It's this idea of a chase, and it's this idea that you could have this person that likes you, but that's their role. And then when you leave the club, that's not their role anymore, and you don't want to know what their role is. And it's the same deal with idols. Idols is like the hostess, a big group of hostesses without the overt sexuality attached to it. At least not anymore. Maybe in AKB's earlier days, well, unfortunately it was. I think unintentionally or not, that's to be disputed. But
it's a lot classier nowadays.
It's a lot classier, I would say. They're not trying to go that route. And I would say also, you know, like me and Haru got into a very interesting discussion about all this in the last comments, and Haru had some amazing points that I couldn't really dispute. Like, she was bringing up the lyrics of like "Dear My Teacher," and some of those lyrics are extremely suggestive. Yeah. And it's like, that was AKB 2005, 2006. Now I would say they've gone a different direction, but it's still the idea that their girls, their fantasies, but the weird thing about AKB that I would say for most people is we don't look at them as dates. We look at them as little sisters. I mean, at least that's me with almost every girl. Almost every. There's some I don't, because they're too hot, and I just have to look at them like girls I wish I could be with. But it's like, but those are the older girls, and girls that I think, you know, they know that that's their role for many of them. They're male fans. You know what I'm saying? But overall, that's their role. They're idols. There's nothing gonna happen. And when they start to make something happen, that's when it gets to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So but they need to define it. They need to define it clearly, because it's like going into a hostess club and not knowing what the rules are. Can I touch them? Can I not? Can they talk about their boyfriends? Are they not supposed to? I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. Let me know what the rules are, and then we either follow them or we protest against them. But right now, who knows?
Be aligned, yeah. But
be aligned.
It's funny though. Speaking of being, classy and stuff like that. You know what comes out tomorrow?
What's
No?
that?
Certain photo book, I would say.
Yeah. Search and grab your photo book.
That's
So, already in the pre-order?
I didn't pre-order it yet, but I'm
Oh.
gonna do it. Well, I'm just gonna go to maybe CD Japan and look at it, order it. Thing is, though, she is sneaky as always.
Yep.
Because there was she already had like a pre-release event with Minami Yuri,
Yep.
and Yuri looked like it. It's like, oh, that's sexy and cute, and then it's like, oh, what is this? Oh, that's a postcard. You can get 1 out of 5. Please collect them all. It's like, you sneaky little man. It's like, you still have 5 of them? I'm not gonna buy the photo book 5 times.
Well,
Still.
don't say it. You might.
You might.
Glad to see you're still using the Uchu I gave you. Yay.
Believe me, it's one of my favorites. It's just, this is
Aw,
a very nice
yay.
gift. It really helps, so.
Nachan's the best.
Not
Bro,
Really,
she's the best.
Nachan is really the best. So I'm probably, after this show is over, I'm just gonna go to CD Japan and be like,
That's interesting though.
I
You're
saw
right.
I saw the sneak peek pictures and
Oh boy.
look good. Kato Reina is busy with her photo book. Looks good.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Old school member. No.
Which one? Which one?
Second photo book came out from her. Help me. Famous Ace Kami 7.
Isano
Tomachin.
Oh, Tomachin.
Tomachin.
It's like that one is coming out as well, and it's like Josh is gonna be busy.
Yes, he will.
That's all I have to say on that.
Well, wait. Let me ask you both a question though. Okay, just not necessarily to continue the conversation about the love band thing, but just to kind of put a cap on it, really. So moving forward, your Oshi gets caught with somebody. What's your reaction?
Ooh, it's gonna be a hard one. I'm probably still support her, but with a different mindset, I would say. It's not like no longer the little sister, but as a woman, I'm going to support her right now. So.
And who's your Oshi DX? Just so people know.
Komi,
right? So yeah.
Komiyama Haruka.
Yes.
Right. Just so in case people didn't know. But go ahead. And then we all know who yours is. Right?
Yeah, but Derek, how do I answer this question?
That's why I'm asking.
No, the thing is, it already happens every day.
The harem thing.
Nachan has one of the biggest harem right now.
The harem thing, you know.
And you know how the fans react. It's like the first one is like, okay. It's like, she has so many girls around her. And I know she is attracted to girls. And the fans know she's attracted to girls. And she says, well, maybe if the right guy shows up. And then the guy's like, I'll be that guy. No. She is full on attracted to women.
That's awesome.
So it's like, you know my opinion on this? Sure. I care about, actually this is very cheesy to say, but I care about the person. And it's like always where I care about. It's not about, where you're from, what your, style is, like what your gender is, apparently in this day and age. It's like, I care about the person after that. And yes, you can look attractive, you could look amazing, beauty is there. But in the end of the day, again, it's like who you are as a person, not what everything else is. So yeah, I'll support her if she still does the same thing. If I'm noticing because of other things, it's like we had before this discussion. If her work, that's what I think is most important. Her work ethic becomes lower because of all this harem or.
Then we have a problem, yeah.
Then I'll be like, if you're not gonna put in your effort like you used to, then okay, I'm not gonna put as much effort of supporting you.
There you go.
That's basically it. It's the same level. It's like you give disrespect, I'll give disrespect, and not disrespect. This THIS.
So AKS, if you're listening, here's what you need to do. Every girl that comes into AKB48's roster, teach them to multitask. Multitasking is the way you survive as an idol. Anyway.
All right.
Oh,
Well, basically those were my topics.
No, I think we covered everything. It was good.
There was
I think we're good.
There was one thing more announced. I think the Yoshimoto Saka 46 thing.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Sure.
No, it's just shortly because it's going to be another group. I would say.
Yeah.
Not necessarily an idol group, but another group.
It is part of the Sakamichi family.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily going to be an idol group.
Yeah, it's an Owarai group with men and female in it, and it's part of Sakamichi. So it's gonna be like Nogizaka, Keikizaka, and what's it called again? Did I already name it?
Yoshimoto Zaka.
Yeah, Yoshimoto Zaka 46.
Like a joke, you mean? Or
No, this is official. So
It's official.
now there are 3 tiles. So you have the pink or the purple from Nogizaka.
Yeah.
You have the green from Keikizaka, and you now have the orange on top of each other. So you didn't hear about this, okay? So
No, I didn't. No idea.
They're now taking auditions for Owarai groups, and they're gonna become one giant Owarai group. If
Or
that,
something like that, yeah.
yeah, and you know, everyone can apply, and it will be a part of the Sakamichi series. So basically, you'll have TV events with the Owarai group and Nogizaka or Keikizaka. Confusing, isn't it?
I just not necessary in my opinion. My goodness, focus on what you have. Why all this expansion is nuts, man.
Yeah,
Truly nuts. Like we need more groups. Like we need them to focus on the groups they have. Like
it's
come on.
You know, we're just drinking the Kool-Aid. Just
right?
You know, becoming a cult. That's already what it is, basically the idol world, right?
Yeah, it's one big cult. You're right.
Why not make it expand to something, you know, on that side? So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's happening. Just finish all these projects you're planning and see if it works. First of all, I want to see your boat. That's the first thing I want to see.
A boat.
I want to see the boat, Taipei 48, and I want to see Manila 48 get disbanded, and then I really want to see Mumbai 48 surprise us all and have a bunch of like the Indian girls just dance around whipping everybody's butt and totally prove us all wrong.
While Produce 48 is going on, while Last Idol's finishing up, while
Equal Love is doing something there.
22-7. We still got 22-7, I think.
Oh my god, yeah, there's that. I mean, like, it would just be nice if they collectively said, oh, hold on, let's kind of take a break, and let's realize we have 4,000 things going on. Again, AKS, multitasking, let's take some classes, because they might need to take some themselves.
They know how. Maybe they went to multitasking class, but only stayed for the first.
They failed it.
No. They only went to the first lesson. They're like, "Oh, so you start up like this."
Oh wait a minute! How are we supposed to end this?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it fix it itself? Why are there so many holes right now?
It's like writing code, but you haven't got a clue to compile the damn thing. So yeah.
I get the feeling it's like they're starting a painting. They're doing like. Next week, and they'll go like, new canvas.
That's so true.
Oh, which reminds me, next week on AKB48 show, Kato Minan is going to the painting thing Shigomero did, I think.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
That's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
I like the corner.
I just like her, period, so anything with her is gold.
But yeah, that's it in my opinion from the Sakamichi stuff. So.
Yeah. It was a bit random. It was a bit random, but yeah, it still needed to be told, so.
You guys would still want to talk about JyaaBaaJya a little bit?
I haven't seen it, so you're gonna have to inform me.
So you haven't seen the second part of the New Year's special with Kanji, and the biggest thing I was so happy was Watanabe Risa, or is it Risa? I think.
Which one? The clumsy one or the
one who doesn't talk?
They both don't really talk, so.
The one who also said like this, yeah. The one who's like, you know, shit like
that might be Berika. That might be Berika, I think.
Okay. Well, the thing is, she got put under hypnosis, and that was like, okay, give more energy, and they were like, okay, she got more energy, right? Then Sawai went like, hey, and she was like, way, and they go, way. And she went like, way. And they go like, way. And she went also like this. And it's like, that's so much energy showing. Just completely surprised on that, so I really laughed on that side. Koike was funny with the Orai group doing the stuff like that. Yeah, no, it was a fun episode. It wasn't like explodingly funny, but I think the biggest one was still with the hypnosis part. So
okay,
I'm really just attached to all those girls. I loved it. I thought the episode was so much fun because I really am starting to love the members because I'm starting to know them. And it's like, to me, they're like, and I was talking about this with Jay Sprite last night because, yeah, like I said, he's a huge KF fan. And we were just saying they're in their golden age. Like, I mean, this is their golden era. You know, they have all their top members and none of their big members have said goodbye yet. And, you know, so it's like, to me, I was telling Jay Sprite, I was telling him last night, what I think they should do now is a Sasenkyo. They should do like a little mini Sasenkyo for their entire hiragana and Kei Kizaka. Yeah, no, I'm just saying because I think if they did that, I'm very curious to see what the fans would think as opposed to what management keeps pushing on everyone. Because we keep saying, why is Techi this? Why is Techi this? Let's see if the fans agree. And wouldn't that be interesting? So that's my opinion because I think it'd be fun to see that happen. But
it would be fun. It's interesting, but it will fall apart.
Why do you say that?
I think right now, because of not knowing, doesn't hurt the group. If the members know exactly the right numbers, you'll diverse the group. Because we keep forgetting, even though Techi is center every time, they're still a unit. They're still the members themselves. They are really close to each other. They really respect each other.
Yeah. Yeah. They love each other.
That's the thing. The rivalry in the group is not there. Right now, actually, because Hiragana is getting her own stuff, and there's no interactions between singles of, you know, Hiragana is going to be on there instead of kanji members. And so far, every kanji member has been in every single. So you always have a guaranteed slot in the Senbatsu. So there's no worrying about not being in Senbatsu. If you change that with a Sasenkyo and give them rank, I think it will fall apart and then you'll lose the unity. So right now everyone is treated equally and Techi. But I know that's also the thing I see in like a lot of songs. Even though Techi's a center, she needs the group to survive. Otherwise, she's not making it. So the unity is great there, and I wouldn't change it. So it's better off not knowing.
Okay, you know, I want to ask our fans that should they have a Sasenkyo or not. So anybody who loves Kei, weigh in on that. But I agree with you actually, Robin. That's actually a really good point. I didn't consider that. So I may renege on my thinking they should have a Sasenkyo because what you just said, because that actually makes total freaking sense. I didn't realize every member was in every
unit,
you know,
21 members, 21 Senbatsu every time.
So maybe if they keep getting more members, it would make more sense. If they kind of grow to like an AKB level, get a few more groups, then
that's the thing. That's why I'm saying if it wasn't for Hiragana getting their own stuff now, being called as a separate group, I would say, hey, do a Sasenkyo. Let's see how many Hiragana members will be higher than certain kanji members.
But they're a separate group now, so
they now are a separate group in Kei Kizaka.
But I'm looking at my Sasenkyo idea was to include Hiragana just as well with you know, the kanji because to me that's my curiosity right there, what you just said. I'm curious to see if some member in Hiragana will blow everyone out of the water and the management would have to reforce themselves into thinking, what are we doing? And I like when that kind of stuff happens. And also too, it goes back to what we talked about, I think was it last week or so, Techi could use a rival. She could use like she needs a Yuko. You know, because then I think that would, if we had any doubts about her wanting to be in the group, that'll really make it known if she even wants to be it, or will she step the F up and be like, oh, really? I don't think so. Watch this, and then blow us out of the water. But she continues to blow me out of the water all the time. But I'm just saying, like, she would really step up. And then I think, like, having a rival to go back and forth, that would be cool. Because it worked for AKB. It worked really well for that.
I want, if this is possible... This is really what I'm hoping for this year to happen. Kenyan stuff is now gone, right?
Yeah.
Why not make Techi a special honorary AKB48 member temporarily.
Ooh, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
It would be so good to have her like.
Like they did it.
Oh, Robin,
Yeah.
listen to me, man. Listen, I'm telling you, there's a war coming. There has to be a gigantic battle between Kea and AKB and Nogi, and they're all going to converge. But I'm telling you, if they did a crossover, something like that, where Techi was shocked, that'd be the shock of the century. If they brought her over and they made her a center for AKB, and like for a song, and they made it like a Kea style song, it'd probably be one of the best songs AKB's ever done, in my opinion. I just know it would be. But here's the interesting thing about that to me. Where would that leave Kea? Because honestly, we would need a new leader for Kea. And again, there's plenty of them in there. Any of those girls could be a leader as far as I'm concerned. But who would it be? Which, by the way, just side note, I have Oshi-hen. Shida Manaka is no longer my Oshi. I like Oda Nana. So I have Oshi-hen. Gomen, Shida. But Oda Nana has won me over with her dimples and her silliness. So anyways, that's just side note.
Have you watched the latest video? You know, she's on the mic going like this with her hair badass looking at you.
I know she looks amazing. She looks incredible, but Shida just, I don't know. She's kind of been pushed aside. Oda's just won my heart. So I just love silly. I love silly, weird, out there girls. And Manaka, don't get me wrong, Shida's out there. But like, Oda's just, she has a really good comedic sense of timing. Side note, anyways, back to what we were saying. I really feel like you have so many leader possibilities there. And that would really force Kei to like really do something like that. I don't know if it's necessary at this point, but man, that would be good. Robin, that's such a good idea. I really hope AKS watch this and be like, yeah, that's good. We're gonna do it. Like I really hope
let us know in the comments on this whole situation.
Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely.
Should Techi? Well, first of all, should there be Sasenkyo? B, should Techi be transferred to AKB for a moment and do the whole Ikoma Arena route, maybe, but see what happens? Maybe a little bit more than Ikoma, because Techi's so massive. So I don't. Oh, this is so good. Sorry, you got my mind really going. That's really interesting.
All right, let's move on to recommendations for next week. First off, I am gonna recommend this. So over on our Sakamichi side, podcast style.
Oh yeah.
The Slope did something incredible.
Yep.
And props to boy Spoltaku and JyaaBaaJya. They got a special guest on their show, and it's none other than from Nogi Ego. It's Nick, I would say. And that's the guy who's doing all the translating on Nogi Ego from English to Japanese. He's a very funny dude. And he was on The Slope, talking with the guys, talking about, his time in Japan, and he's being a comedian, how it goes there. And they also, the thing they're most interesting about, I would say, working with AKB48, how that is for him. So, that's really my recommendation to watch.
Yeah.
I think this is
watch it.
Yep, that's the mine as well. So.
Look, they did the impossible. That's I love Josh. I love the boys that do Slope. They're some of the best people I know. I've had lunches and stuff with them, and like honestly, like they're good people, and they love Nogi. They love what they do. Look what they did. I mean, look, if there's anybody out there who wonders what we do and why we do this, it's for things like that right there.
Yeah.
Because eventually you start to get involved with this world even more. Look at what I did with Necronominal. Like, you just start doing more and more like that. And this is only beginning. I guarantee you, now that he's come on, we could potentially see a lot more from that world. I mean, it's possible, right?
Hey, Nozawa, there's still a spot open.
Nozawa! You can hang out with us, Nozawa, because we love you, and we would treat you respectfully, like we always treat idols respectfully. And yes, come, Nozawa, please. I know she watches us. I know it. I just know it. I've commented on her stuff so much. I'm like, come check us out. How many times we've been in her show?
I really think there are some members. There are now a lot of members doing YouTube channels, and I really think they are listening or watching. So
they have to be. They have to be. Well, that's our fantasy games. But good job, Josh, and them. That's
go watch the Slope special episode. Yeah. Anyone else recommendations?
DX?
Nah, the usual AKBingo and such, But I don't really have anything at the moment, actually. Everything was empty with Queendom, pretty much. So, yeah.
Derek.
Yeah, I got a few. First of all, again, just repping. I'm doing that show in August and still working on it. Nothing really new to report this time, except I did have quite a few people donate money as sponsors. That actually people from that watch us. Jay Sprite donated a massive amount. There's been others that have donated also. I just want to thank all of you that are doing that. Please keep doing it because I need it, because it will help me bring these idols over to America for a show. Also, I started a Patreon page, like Josh has done and a lot of others in our community have done. I'm not one of those people that like to ask for handouts. So what I like about Patreon is I'm not asking for handout. I'm giving you something in return. And so I have a lot of different levels to my Patreon, like a ton, because I thought it'd be really fun to have a whole bunch. And I've actually gotten quite a few people right now donating, including, again, people from here like Robert, Jace has, but Robert has, Miroslav has. You know, I love you. I love all of you. I understand money's money, and believe me, I know people don't think about this. They hear that and they're like, oh, whatever. I mean, even $1 helps because you can give me $1, and if I get 1,000 people to give me $1, all my bills are paid. I mean, think about that. Like, I can totally 100% focus on doing all this stuff with idols. Like, one of my goals is to do a documentary on the Tokyo idol scene, and you know, if I don't have to worry about real life, that makes it much more easier to do these creative things. Now, granted, I'm still going to do it one way or the other, but it just makes it easier. And if you can contribute, there's going to be a link. I think, right, DX, you're going to put a link to my Patreon?
Oh, definitely. I will have everything updated.
Thank you so much.
Speaking of which, I had a lot of help from Colin Johnson with getting the description page ready. So the new description page has been made possible by Colin Johnson. So please thank him in the comments. Thank you so much.
Colin made some very, very astute points about what we could do to improve. And again, we listen. We listen to you guys. We really do. And Colin's on our comments every week. He even comments on other people's comments, which is awesome. I feel like he helps me out there. So Colin, thank you so much. And we love you. And by the way, if you ever want to be on the show, Colin, you know you're more than welcome.
Just say the word, and me and Robin will make it happen. So
you're super. Well, all of our commenters are super ridiculous when it comes to their comments, because they're all so intelligent. But please show me some love there. Go to my Patreon page. Even, like I said, even $1 a month helps me do what I want to do. And believe me, what I want to do is going to be in your best interest because I'm all about idols. I'm going to give you idol stuff. Like, I have a $50 rank that, like, if you give me $50, I'll write a post about anything you want in the idol or anything. So, you know, I'm a writer, so hopefully that will entice you to say, hey, I could probably get some good quality material out of this, so why don't I contribute? Anyways, please check that out. That's my recommendation. It's very selfish. I apologize. But I don't know. It'd be nice to see you there. So
yeah, it's perfectly fine. Okay then. We'll say that. Let's call this an episode. So thank you for watching this week's episode of 48 Talk. We'll see you next time. Take it away, yeah. Oh, okay.
Bye
bye, everybody.
Bye bye.